Hello there, and welcome back to A Star Wars Story. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe to let YouTube know that the Force is strong with this channel. This is our review for the season finale of Ahsoka. The episode was written by Dave Filoni and directed by Rick Famuyiwa, who is known for directing multiple episodes of The Mandalorian. This is, of course, a spoiler-free review of the series. We will not be discussing plot points, deaths, introductions, character appearances, major significant Easter eggs. We won't be covering any of that. This is really discussing how we feel coming out of this episode. And I look forward to having a larger spoiler-filled discussion on the season as a whole later. This exceeded my expectations. I have so much that I want to talk about, but obviously for the sake of this video, I cannot, so I won't. But it's really difficult to discuss this finale without sharing key moments. And that's going to be my biggest Vegas takeaway that I can give you. There is so much here for fans of Star Wars, being as careful as possible in terms of how we word this. How we look at this series as a whole is something I'm really excited to do. But Dave Filoni has delivered a solid season finale. You know, coming off of a lot of Disney Plus shows, the one primary complaint that I have, and that you can see throughout my history and talks on Discord and throughout, the season finales are often rushed, hurried, and ultimately feel inconsequential. They don't feel earned and deserved. Everything feels like it needed more time. And there are cases, of course, where that is not an occurrence, right? Mandalorian Season 1, Mandalorian Season 2 had a solid arc and solid season finales. But you could even say that those seasons were smaller in scope, right? And then when you look at the grander scope, the shows that have a lot to tackle, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Season 3 of Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, it often feels, among those Star Wars shows, that we needed more time. But then you can look at Clone Wars, Season 7, an amazing finale. So, even Andor, an amazing finale. Marvel, by comparison, and this is just my personal opinion, I do not believe Marvel has delivered a solid finale. They've all been rushed, they've all been very poorly paced, and they have not been to my liking. The finales have brought all of those shows down. So I have to give it to Star Wars for having, in my opinion, more hits than misses in terms of having a proper conclusion to a season. Now, I'm really excited and I'm really giddy, so it's very difficult for me to, right now, moments after finishing the finale, to objectively judge how I would rank it. I feel like I'm going to take a little bit of time on that, and we'll discuss that when we have a full spoiler discussion on the entire series. But right now, in terms of my expectations, in terms of the build-up, the history of the Clone Wars, bringing in, Ahsoka's appearances in Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, Rebels, all of these things that it has been built to, and everything riding on this series, to deliver a solid foundational finale that can't just be a solid end. It can't be. It's a season 1, at least right now, in terms of development. We know a season 2 is in development, and we know the film is coming. So it can't be a solid, hard ending. And in truth, you could say it's Star Wars, so really nothing will ever end. But Dave Filoni has brought this arc to an amazing cinematic closure. There's a part of me that really wished Filoni would have directed the finale to kind of bring it full circle. In the back of my mind, I would have loved to have seen what Filoni would have done with this, what he would have done with this episode. But even so, the consistency, the collaboration, the visual language that Filoni established is still on full display. This is a consistent, beautifully shot, wonderfully well executed show. And in all honesty, the characters that I feel come out of this mesmerizing and magnetic is Baylan, it is Shin, and it is Thrawn. And I am so excited to say that. We come to Star Wars all differently and at different times in our lives. But I grew up when there was just the original trilogy and some books, right? So I have a relationship with Thrawn that is longer than the relationship of some of these other characters existing. So there was a lot for me writing on Thrawn's debut in live action and how he was going to be represented on screen in terms of narrative and storytelling. And to see it exceed beyond my wildest expectations while introducing amazing new characters in Baylan and Shin, and just being absolutely overwhelmed week over week, seeing how they are building to this. Because Ahsoka has a lot riding on it. It is more serialized than the average episodic television. Every little piece is built on the foundation of another. This is serialized television. There isn't one-off Ahsoka episodic adventures like in an animated series. Everything here was built to be a part of the true ending, if you will. I'm going to be really careful here. Everything matters is what I will say. Everything absolutely mattered. And it not only brings it to a close, but as is the case with something that is ongoing, it still leaves you with this just the right level of anticipation. You know what's been said and you know what's been done, but now you know what's out there. The characters know what's out there, and we know what's out there. And it changes our perspectives going forward. And I'm really excited to see what this does for the universe and for these characters. And I'll leave it at that. Again, a more spoiler-filled conversation where we can go into this. But this was an absolute solid season finale. Incredibly well done, incredibly well paced. I did not feel there was a loss in terms of character, and I did not feel there was a loss in terms of momentum. Everything that we had been building to was dealt with. Now, how overwhelmed we are, the level of oh my God, that's a different takeaway for every individual. But for me, I am thrilled by the direction that this series has gone in and where it leaves us. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and remember that the Force will be with you always.